Look, have you ever noticed this strange pattern where life somehow feels more expensive after you start doing better? When you were genuinely struggling, like actually just trying to get by, things were tight but simple. Cheap meals, old clothes, a phone with a cracked screen that you kept telling yourself you'd replace next month. You didn't have much, but you made it work. Then you start earning real money for the first time. A raise, a better job, a more stable income. And instead of relief, the pressure comes back. Rent feels heavier, the cost of living feels tighter, and you're sitting there thinking, on paper, I'm doing better than I ever have. So why does this still feel stressful? My name is Daddy, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people feel broke, even when they're earning more money than ever. If you're someone who works hard, earns what looks like decent money, but still feels like you're constantly playing catch up, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because here's the thing. What's happening to you isn't a budgeting issue, it's not a discipline problem, and it's definitely not because you're bad with money. It's something much more subtle, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's what most people don't realize. Struggle has a strange side effect. It protects you. When money is tight, your decisions are simple. You don't ask whether something is worth it. You ask one question. Can I afford this? Yes or no? That kind of thinking is powerful. When you're struggling, you don't browse, you don't upgrade, and you don't negotiate with yourself. You survive. But the moment struggle ends, life stops being binary. Everything becomes negotiable. This is what I call the comfort tax. It's not a bill and it's not a fee, and you'll never see it written anywhere, but it's one of the most expensive things you'll ever pay. Let's say you were earning around $40,000 a year. You weren't comfortable, but you managed. Then you get a raise or switch jobs, and now you're earning $65,000, or the UK version of that jump. On paper, that looks huge, but in reality, you didn't gain freedom. You unlocked new ways to spend. According to data from labor and consumer spending reports, as income increases, discretionary spending rises almost dollar for dollar. Most raises don't go towards savings or investments. They quietly go toward lifestyle expansion. Rent goes up because you want a nicer apartment or flat. The car payment increases because reliability suddenly matters more. Grocery bills climb because you start buying better quality food. Subscriptions multiply in the background. Eating out stops being an occasional treat and becomes normal. Before you realize it, that extra income is gone, and worse, your baseline is higher. Going back now feels like losing something. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is just lifestyle inflation. And yes, that's the term people use. But that explanation doesn't go deep enough. What's really happening is psychological. When you're struggling, expectations are low. When you're comfortable, expectations explode. You stop comparing yourself to survival and start comparing yourself to coworkers, friends, and the version of yourself you think you should be by now. And that comparison is expensive. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. Humans adapt incredibly fast to better conditions. The new place feels exciting for a few months, then it's just where you live. The new car becomes normal transportation. The raise is mentally spent before it even arrives. Research consistently shows that people return to their baseline level of happiness within months of earning more money, but expenses don't return to baseline. They stay. This is where it gets really interesting. The most dangerous financial moment in your life isn't when you're broke. It's when you're almost comfortable. Struggle forces discipline. Comfort invites negotiation. Instead of saying no, you start saying things like, just this once, I've worked hard, I should be able to afford this, or it's not that much more. None of those decisions feel reckless. They feel reasonable. That's what makes them dangerous. There's also an identity shift that happens as income grows. You stop seeing yourself as someone who needs to be careful and start seeing yourself as a professional, an adult, someone who shouldn't have to worry about money anymore. And that identity is expensive because once something feels beneath you, you'll pay almost anything to avoid it. Another change happens quietly, and most people miss it. Friction disappears. When you were struggling, spending had weight to it. You felt it. Now, everything is frictionless. Cards, apps, contactless payments, buy now, pay later. Research from central banks shows people spend significantly more when payment feels less real. Not because they're irresponsible, but because friction is gone. At the same time, your mindset shifts from survival to optimization. You stop asking what you need and start asking what the best version is: the best phone, the best plan, the best gym, the best mattress, the best coffee. Each upgrade feels small and justified, but stacked together, they quietly drain your income. Subscriptions are a perfect example. Most people now spend hundreds each month on recurring services, and many couldn't list all of them if you asked. Individually, they don't hurt. Collectively, they suffocate. And once life feels comfortable, canceling them feels like deprivation, not improvement. This is why so many people say, I make more than I ever have, but I still feel stressed. Income increases without intentional limits don't create freedom. They create bigger cages. Nicer cages, but cages nonetheless. Here's the rule nobody teaches you. Your lifestyle will always expand to match your income unless you actively stop it. Not because you're weak, because you're human. So how do you beat this? When your income increases, you keep your core lifestyle the same for as long as possible. Same rent, same car, same baseline. You let the raise exist outside your lifestyle, not inside it. You also create artificial struggle by automatically diverting new income into savings, investments, or debt repayment. If you never see the money, you won't miss it. Then you define what enough actually means for you, because most people never do, and they end up chasing more forever. Finally, you stop auditing spending and start auditing comfort. You ask yourself which comforts you're paying for that don't actually improve your life. Life doesn't get more expensive because you earn more. It gets more expensive because expectations grow faster than income. Once you understand that, you regain control, not by cutting joy or living like a monk, but by choosing comfort intentionally instead of accidentally. The goal isn't to struggle forever. The goal is to escape struggle without becoming owned by comfort. If this video made you pause, rethink, or feel slightly called out, that's a good thing. That's where change starts. Hit the like button if this helped you see money differently. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations about how money actually works. And remember, struggle ends, comfort begins, but freedom has to be designed. I'll see you in the next one.